Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 17 of the Atlanta United series. Now, today we have a bit of a special episode. I mentioned it in the previous one, but we're actually going to be facing the Mexican champions, Pachuca, in the Campeones Cup, which is essentially the winner of the MLS and the winner of the Mexican, it's Liga MX, the winner of Liga MX, versus each other. And obviously, it's a special little super cup between the two nations. Never really heard of it before, and it was a bit of a surprise, sort of realising it in the last episode. But kind of looking forward to it. Of course, we didn't really get a Mexico versus America final in the North American Champions League this season, so I guess this is kind of the replacement for that. Anyways, we do have a little bit of news to go over, as you can tell by the title of this video, and as you can see from these two messages in my notebook, we had a tycoon Atlanta United, and it said Arthur Blank wanted to leave the club, and a mystery foreign tycoon was looking to complete a buyout of the club and invest large sums of money in new players and facilities. So that actually went through, and this guy came in. I believe he's Brazilian. I might be mistaken. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. It's Iago Gillian or Julian. But yeah, he's come in, and as you can see, he's already invested £51 million into the club's coffers, and we've got a much, much higher transfer budget as well due to that. He's also brought in a few of his own directors there as well, and obviously they're only going to judge me based on results and transfers from the day they took over. So yeah, we got a new TYCOON takeover, and it's a pretty unexpected, turn of events, because I wasn't really expecting it for this series, and this series is only going to be a short-term series as well, so obviously we're not going to probably see the full effects of that, but it's just a nice little thing and a nice little bonus. I guess we could essentially buy a couple of good players, put them on designated player contracts, albeit we've already probably got some of the best players in the league. Anyway, let's go over the recent fixtures. Of course, the previous episode was the Houston game. We followed that up with a 6-0 friendly victory over AC Milan. As you can see, lots of different goal scorers in there. And then the next game was a 1-0 loss against Valencia in a friendly as well. We then returned back to proper action with the US Open Cup semi-final and managed a 6-1 demolition job over New England Revolution. As you can see, Julian Gressel with a brace, Gonzalo Martinez and Joseph Martinez getting their goals within 3 minutes of each other. And finally, right back, Josh Emmanuel managed to get himself a brace there as well. We then went into the next game, back to MLS action with a 5-1 victory over New York City. Zelalem got himself a brace in this one, as did Villalba, and finally Klaassen was also on the score sheet there. We then went away to Montreal Impact and managed to beat them 3-0. A pretty impressive away victory. Gonzalo Martinez in the 30th minute, and then Klaassen got himself a brace within 5 minutes. We then managed to beat Chicago 4-1 away from home. Nagbe, Klaassen again with a brace, and Zelalem on the score sheet. And the most recent game played was a 5-1 victory at home over Real Salt Lake. Gonzalo Martinez with a brace, Zelalem with a brace there as well, and Perez also on the score sheet. So yeah, as you can see, we're doing pretty well. I mean, a 6-0 victory over AC Milan, albeit it was a pretty heavily rotated side. And as you'd expect, it leaves us in a pretty convincing place in terms of the Eastern Conference, and of course, overall in the Supporters' Shield. As you can see, we are 77 points, and New York City, who we beat, 5-1, are in second place on 59. We also have a game in hand, so essentially we could be about 21 points ahead of New York City. And as you can see, New York are actually ahead of the leader in the Western Conference, which is San Jose. Just quickly, in terms of the Supporter Shield, obviously with those results and the points in the table, we're already champions. We've actually already secured the Supporter Shield, which is pretty incredible, especially at this stage of the MLS. And yeah, I guess in that way we can sort of focus on other things such as the Campeones Cup, and we also have in the next episode the US Open Cup final against DC United. So a couple of good games, good cup finals there to look forward to. But let's get into the lineup for today's game. As you'd expect, we're going to go pretty much full strength. We're going to go with Guzan in goals, Emmanuel at right back, Pires and Pogba as the two centre defenders. Then we're going to go Breck Shea at left back, who's been playing pretty well, I have to say, in the left back position. Laurentowicz is going to be the defensive midfielder. Zelalem and Nagbe. Zelalem's been scoring goals for fun at the moment. We then got Villalba on the right wing, Gonzalo Martinez on the left wing, and then leading goal scorer with 18 goals this season, Klaassen, will start up front. The bench today is going to be Can, Robinson, Bello, Remedi, Leon, Carleton, and Martinez. Alrighty. I mean, Pachuca, they're a very, very good side. I actually did a Pentagon challenge as a private save on FM18 before I sort of came back to YouTube. And yeah, Pachuca was the North American team that I actually took over on that personal save. And I actually stayed there for, I think, 3 or 4 seasons as I managed to win the North American Champions League in that save. Yeah, had a good time there. And they're a very good club. Can produce some very solid, regens and young players through their academy. Anyway, I want to beat them here today, obviously. Claim another cup. Villalba, pretty good save by their goalkeeper. A little bit unfortunate. Martinez with the corner. It's cleared away. Nagbe will get onto it. Plays it out wide. Comes back inside. And that's a free kick to Pachuca. A little bit disappointing, but we are playing much better between the two sides here. I'm a little bit happy that they haven't actually had a shot yet. Although that can always come back to bite you in the arse later on in the game. When they get their first shot, they can often score from it. I found that pretty commonly, especially with FM19. Anyway, Nagbe coming forward. Zelalem manages to sneak it in the back of the net. He hit the crossbar and it actually rebounded downwards into the goal. Very nice goal there from Zelalem. Like I said, he's scoring for fun at the moment. Really happy with his goal return ratio. As a midfielder, you don't really expect too many goals. And of course, he's only a new signing coming in, was it June? The June transfer window. Very happy with his signing. Of course, in real life, I think he's already playing the MLS, but of course, we don't start. Well, the game's database doesn't start and take that into account due to it, being ready from June 2018. Anyway, there's a lot of highlights for this first half here. It's pretty surprising, yeah. Anyway, Klaassen plays it out to Nagbe. Villalba. Klaassen. Just wide. And he's been very good, Klaassen, I have to admit. He's essentially keeping Joseph Martinez out of the team, which is a pretty big feat. Especially for a, first season out of the Super Draft. Albeit he was our first choice pick. So you kind of expect him to be half decent. I just wasn't really expecting him to be the leading goal scorer, albeit he's not really playing very well today. Only on a 6.6 average rating. We might actually bring him off and we'll give Joseph about 30 minutes or so. I'm just looking if there's anyone else we need to bring off. We'll bring Gonzalo Martinez off and bring Leon onto the pitch as well. Of course, he's another one of our draft picks from the Super Draft. And we do manage to get a goal there through Pires off the corner. Nagbe with the assist. And we're 2-0 up. Looks like we could be on course to claim the first ever Campeones Cup for Atlanta United. Emmanuel. Zellerlam again, and he hits the post, and Martinez is offside there, I think. Their goalkeeper is actually playing pretty well. I mean, considering we've had, up to this point, 16 shots on target, and it's only 2-0, and they almost could have brought it back. It's a 2-1 there, but yeah, their player really skewed his shot and allowed our player to get the block in. Alright, we might make one more sub here. Emmanuel's looking pretty fatigued out there, so I think we'll bring Remedi on. He's not really match fit. May as well give him about 10 minutes or so to try and work up a little bit of that match fitness and just sort of see if he can actually do anything with the remaining time. Villalba, not a great cross. The goalkeeper does get that one pretty easy. Morales plays it out wide, but Shea manages to get it straight away. Remedi to Joseph Martinez, who hits the crossbar. Pretty unlucky there, not going to lie. Pachuca, I mean, there's been so many highlights in this game, and I'm pretty sure it is only on key highlights. Oh my god. Somehow it's a penalty, but that was Ricochet City. The ball was just bouncing around everywhere. Oh, and Guzan saves the penalty. That's pretty funny. Gets himself onto a 7.3 rating there as well. Actually surpassing their goalkeeper, who's essentially saved like 14 shots or something. Something ridiculous like that. Anyway, that should be full time. I guess a little bit disappointing to only score 2 goals when we should have probably scored about 5 minimum. But yeah, there you see the boys lifting the Campeones Cup. And like I said, it's our first ever for the club. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with it. So that's pretty good. There we go. Celebrated double. After we've won the Supporter Shield. And of course, we also won the North American Champions League earlier as well. So yeah, the next episode is going to be the US Cup final. And then I think the final episode, I don't think we'll do a final episode actually. I think we'll go straight into the Eastern Conference semi-final playoff. So yeah, we won't do an end of season game for the MLS. We'll do the US Open Cup final as our next episode, episode 18, and then episode 19 will be the Eastern Conference semi-final. So yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you drop a like. Subscribe as well if you haven't, because I know a lot of viewers aren't subscribed. But yeah, apart from that, take it easy, and goodbye, guys.